Okay, good morning, everyone. This is a PowerPoint and a recorded lecture for the plant tissues because even though postponed yung ating exams, you know very well na wala ako ng September's 3 to 5, okay? And of course, kailangan nating habulin kung ano yung hanggat maaari kaya nating tapusin so that for the finals, hindi tayo masyadong gahol sa oras. Okay? So for this particular discussion, we have the plant tissues. So more or less, eto na yung next level ng discussion after yung discussion sa plant cell. Okay? And we are done with that. Okay. So for the flow of discussion, eto yung iba-ibang mga mababanggit natin ng mga terms throughout the discussion. So you would see that there are two major types of plant tissues. The first one would be the meristematic tissues or the embryonic tissues. So meron naman tayo nung term na embryo. So ibig sabihin, ito ay mabilis dumami or mabilis mag-divide. Okay, so these are continuously dividing cells. Now, on the other hand, we have the second type that would be permanent tissues. And these permanent tissues are the matured tissues. So, kung ang mga batang tissues, ang pangalan ay meristematic or embryonic, yung mga adult na tissues would already be termed as permanent. Now, for meristematic tissues, meron tayong term na apical meristems, we have lateral meristems, and we have intercalary meristems. So, yung mga apical is nandun sa mga ends, that would be yung dulo sa taas, the shoot, dulo sa baba, which would be the root, lateral is yung mga meristems sa sides, and you have the intercalary meristems. This would be the nodes, okay? So there are three types of meristematic tissues. For permanent, dalawang klase lang yan. Yung una is simple, the other one is complex. So pag sinabi natin simple, this is only made up of one type of cells or you have one type of tissue lang dito. For complex naman, complex permanent, this is two or more. Okay? Two or more. So, ibig sabihin, mas marami ito sa dalawa. Okay? Now, for simple permanent tissues, generally, you have only three general types of tissues. You have parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Pero in this particular discussion, we add to that the epidermis, the cork, and the secretory structures. Now, only the sclerenchyma would have two types. We have the sclerids or the sclerides, and you have the fibers. Now, for complex permanent tissues, these are also the vascular tissues. Okay? That would be the xylem and the phloem. So, vascular, ibig sabihin, daluyan ito. So, eto yung kumbaga sa tao, we have the circulatory system, pero pagka sa plants, then we call this as the xylem and the phloem. Let's go to the first type of tissues. You have the meristematic or embryonic tissues. Now, as mentioned a while back, then the cells are actively dividing. Okay, they are actively dividing. Usually, the cells are small pero large ang kanilang nucleus. Kaya nga in this particular diagram or in this particular picture, this is actually the onion root tip. Okay? 'Di ba yung sibuyas pagka magkakaroon siya ng roots, okay, yung mga puti na tumutubo sa kanya, then yun ang sinilip under the microscope and this is how it looks like. And you would see also that this you usually have no vacuoles or sometimes they could have very small vacuoles. Okay? Now, as they would mature, then that's the time na magbabago na yung kanilang mga shapes at kanilang mga sizes depende sa kung anong klaseng cell sila. And syempre, as they would be assuming their shapes and their structures, they would eventually assume a particular function. Okay? So, kung titignan natin dito, paano natin na malalaman na actively dividing etong type ng tissue na to? Okay, look at this. Okay? This would be under anaphase. Okay? Similar to this, it would also be anaphase. Saan dito yung mga nasa interface? This one is interface, this one is interface, so is this and this one. Eto, pag makikita ninyo na medyo unti-unting kumakapal na yung mga chromatids, okay? Then this is already a start of the prophase, okay? Similar to this one, okay? This is also prophase, okay? Nasa naman ang mga metaphase? Ito yung parang merong mga buhok sa gitna. This is metaphase, okay? This is also metaphase, okay? And this is also metaphase. Now this one is of course anaphase, tama? Ito din ay nag-uumpisang anaphase, tama? Ito ay medyo nasa dulo na ng anaphase, okay? Ito, ano to? This is prophase, okay? Ito, nasa dulo na ito or ending na ito ng anaphase. Ito ay starting ng anaphase, okay? Now, saan dito ang telophase? Makikita ninyo na meron tayong mga maliliit na cells na ito, okay? That would actually, parang pag pinagsama mo sila, kasing laki ng isang buong cell ng mga katabi niya, okay? So, this is telophase. Eto ding dalawang cells na ito ay nasa telophase, okay? Actually, pa-start na ito ng telophase, katatapos lang niya ng anaphase. Ito naman ay telophase din kasi yung size din ng kanyang mga cells is halos katulad ng mga katabi niya, okay? Pero na half, kalahati niya, okay? Then, you also have this one, telophase din ito, okay? Yun nga lang kasi hindi pa tapos ng cytokinesis, parang ito din, okay? O ito, ano ito? This is anaphase. Okay? Now, all of these ones na makikita ninyo na parang very faint pa yung kanilang mga nucleus, all of those ones are usually in interphase, but they are undergoing other stages of the cell cycle. Okay? So, parang ito din, okay, this one is also in prophase. Eto, anong stage ito? Mga ito. Okay? Then that is telophase also. Pati ito, telophase din ito etong dalawang ito. Okay? Ano pa ba ang telophase dito? More or less yun lang naman. Pati ito, telophase dito. Kasi halos magkamukha yung kanyang mga nucleus. Okay. So we have the different types of meristems. We have the apical. Again, binanggit natin na ito ay nahahanapan sa tip ng mga shoots or nandun sa roots. And the very function of apical meristem is to increase the length of the plant. Okay? Now, ang lateral meristems naman, tinatawag din cambium. Ito naman yung pampakapal ng plant or para lumapad yung kanilang stem. Eventually, magiging trunk na talagang makapal yung kanilang mga stems, trunk na ito. Then, it is the lateral meristem that is in charge of that. And then we have the intercalary meristem. This would be the nodes, which are actually the attachments of the leaves. Pag kunwari meron kang natanggal na leaf, kung saan yung area na yon, kung saan siya nanggaling, then that is actually a node. Okay? Still, this is an increase in length. Pero mostly, yung pagtubo ng length na tinatawag natin dito is yung pag-form ng branches na. Okay? Now, the intercalary meristems are usually short-lived. Ibig sabihin, hindi yan forever na gumagawa ng or nagpapahaba ng mga length ng plants. Okay? Meron yung time na pagka ito ay napalitan na into permanent tissues, hindi na po ito magiging continuously dividing na. So this would be a picture of the meristematic tissues. This would be the apical meristem of the shoot. This would be the apical meristem of the root. Tignan muna natin ang apical meristem ng shoot. Okay? Nasaan siya? Ito, kung nakikita nyo itong part na ito, okay? That is actually the apical meristem of the shoot. This would be what we call as leaf primordia. Ito ay leaf primordia, and so is this. This is also a leaf primordia, and so is this. Okay? Now, here we have lateral buds. Diyan po tumutubo yung ibang panibagong leaves. Okay? So, yan yung mga panibagong leaves ulit. Now, for the root apical meristem, ito yung pinaka makikita natin sa dulo nito. Okay? Ito siya. And you would see that there would be a thick layer here of very, very small cells. Okay? Now, that is actually known as the root cap. Saan ang apical meristem ng root? It is behind the root cap. Etong portion na to. Yung portion na ito is the apical meristem of the root. And you would see that along the line dito, sa sides na nito, meron na tayong mga root hairs. Okay? Now, there would be 3 zones in the meristematic tissues of the root. Meron tayong area of cell division kasi dito yung nagde-divide ng nagde-divide. Bakit? Kasi nga nandito yung apical meristem. Dito yung area kung saan continuously dividing talaga yung root natin. Next would be the area of elongation. So you would see that even though bansot yung mga cells dito sa ating area of cell division, dito sa area of elongation, humahaba na yung bawat cell natin dito. And you would see that here, di ba? Ito iba na yung itsura ng mga cells natin dito, mas mahaba na. Dito, mas maiksi. Then, here we have the area of maturation. Ibig sabihin, matured na yung mga cells na nandyan. Specifically, malalaman natin na area of maturation na to pagka meron tayong mga tumubong root hairs. Pag wala pang wala pang tumubaw sa area na yan na mga root hairs, then usually it is only the area of elongation as long as you're able to identify that the root cap would of course be at the very end, and a little distance from the root cap would be the apical meristem. Now, we go to the intercalary meristem. Okay? So, ang intercalary meristem is at the nodes. So, that's a node. Okay? This is a node. This is also a node kung saan tumubo yung leaf. This is a node, and this is also a node. Okay? So, that's a node. Now, dito sa intercalary meristem, kitang-kita natin actually sa plant na ito. This is a fortune plant. Okay? Kitang-kita natin actually kung saan yung mga nodes kasi meron siyang linyang ganyan. Tama? So, this would be the nodes. So, this would be the areas of the intercalary meristem. Now, the length at which you have the node towards the next node, this would be called as the internodes, or this would be lengths of the plant that are between 2 nodes. Okay? And the internodes are also what we call as zones of elongation. Okay? Kasi dito, malapit sa, ito yung node, right? Dito sa area niya ito, okay, that would be the area of elongation. If this would be the node, then at this portion, then this would be the area of elongation. Okay? Now, the next one would be the lateral meristem. So, ang lateral meristem is kumakapal naman yung ating plant. Yung width ng plant kumakapal. So, ito yung mga kasama sa ating lateral meristem. So, you have the primary phloem, the primary xylem, kung ano yung unang tumubo na xylem at phloem niya. And then, eventually, meron tayong secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Kasi ito na yung area dito sa gray na ito, this one, okay? Then, this would be our secondary layers of xylem and phloem. And of course, take note ha, etong part na ito, this would be primary. Okay? And then, eto din would more or less be an area na tinutubuan pa rin ng vascular cambium. Okay? Pero, pansinin, in between that, this is where we would find the secondary xylem and the secondary phloem. Okay? So, in this area, kung nakikita ninyo tong line na ito, okay? Eto na po yung area na dumadagdag sa kapal ng plant. Okay? Meron tayong vascular cambium dito dahil dumadami yung xylem dito sa area na to or kumakapal ang xylem. Kumakapal din yung phloem sa area na ito. Okay? And then we also have the cork cambium, but this is at the outermost portion. And this would be adding the covering, adding to the covering of the diameter of the plant. Okay, that's the lateral meristem. Okay, now for the permanent tissues, syempre we have two different types, right? But as we have mentioned, they are already the ones that have assumed the shapes and sizes of their the cells would assume already their specific shapes and sizes. Likewise, meron na po silang specific na function. So kung ito man ay dati meristematic cells pero meron nang tumubo na leaves galing dyan, then yun na yung kanilang special function. Now, as permanent cells, they are already non-dividing or they are not dividing. As simple permanent tissues, the first one, we only have one kind of cell, okay? And uniform, syempre, ang kanyang structure kasi isang kind lang naman siya ng cell at yung kanyang function. Then we have the complex permanent tissues and these are usually made up of several kinds of cells, but they would be working together so that they perform a specific function. Okay? Lahat ng mga cells na yan, iba-ibang klase sila, pero magtutulungan sila para meron silang magawa na specific function. We first go to the first simple permanent tissue, and this would be the parenchyma. This is the most abundant found in the plant, okay? And this is found mostly in the major parts of the plant. So the cells here are more or less spherical or halos pabilog sila pagka yung bagong produced sila or katatapos lang nila ng galing ng cell division. Pero pagka sila ay nagmamature, then they would already be of different shapes and sizes. Mostly, a characteristic of parenchyma is they are big cells. Okay, they are the biggest of all the different types of cells. Tapos manipis yung kanilang cell wall, tapos malaki ang kanilang vacuole. And most of the time also, they would have air spaces in between the cells. Okay? So here you would see, meron tayong mga air spaces dito. Yan is an air space. This is also an air space. Okay? So the example that you have here is the potato. Now, if you look at it from the side, okay, kasi ito yung hiniwa natin, pero if you look at it from the side, then the cells would be standing up, then this is how it looks like. Mas mataba sila kesa sa manipis. Okay? Now, what would be the special functions of the parenchyma? The first one is photosynthesis. Then you have the food and storage of the plant, the secretion of the substances. This could also function a little bit for support. And of course, dahil ito nga yung constantly dividing ng mga cells, then their function would be for repair. Now, the different kinds of parenchyma cells, we would be mentioning just three. Pero you're able to see this already in the diagram that we have. So, ito ang itsura ng ating parenchyma cells. Meron din tayong tinatawag na epidermal parenchyma dahil nahahanapan ito sa epidermis. Meron din tayong xylem parenchyma kasi nahahanapan ito dun sa xylem. And we have the mesophyll parenchyma, which is actually a layer of the leaf. Now, when we say palisade parenchyma of the leaf, okay, makikita nyo kasi na ito ay mukhang mga palisades, nakatayo lang silang ganyan. At sila ay magkakatabi. Okay? Now, on the other hand, you have the spongy parenchyma. Bakit sila spongy? Dahil hindi sila totally magkakadikit na nakatayo, but there would be spaces in between them. Okay? So this is the spongy parenchyma. The spaces in between them would actually allow the passageway of some substances that the plants would need aside from the air that could pass through the spaces of the plant. Okay? Now, the first type of parenchyma would be a parenchyma. And of course, you have the word air Kaya actually, ito ay daanan ng mga air spaces. Ano ang importance ng pagkakaroon ng mga air spaces in the plant? This would be in charge of buoyancy para sila ay lumutang. Okay? And we also have the process of respiration. Or it is actually in the different types of parenchyma that some of the substances, especially for oxygen, dito lumalabas para mailabas na ng plant. Okay? Then we have chlorenchyma from the term chlor. Okay? This means chloroplast. Ibig sabihin yan, eto ngayon ay maraming mga chloroplast. And as it is, then their function would be for photosynthesis. Next one is prosenchyma. Okay, we have a pro. And the prosenchyma would look like fibers. Okay, and they are thick-walled. And syempre, since they are thick-walled and they are made up of fiber-like cells, then their very function is actually for rigidity. Next, we go to collenchyma. So, kung ang parenchyma thin-walled, ang collenchyma ay thick-walled. Pero pansinin ninyo na hindi lahat ng mga areas ng collenchyma, yung mga cell walls niya, is pare-pareho ng thickness. Meron yung iba na medyo mas manipis, like for example, this side, okay? And meron naman yung mga areas na mas makapal. Let's say, for example, this side, okay? This area. So, this would be collenchyma, okay? Now, the cells, this particular cells would be much smaller than the parenchyma cells. They are smaller than the parenchyma cells, but their very function is for strength and pliability. Now, syempre, as it would be, then ang kanilang major function ay support and strength. Okay? So, where do you usually find these types of cells? You find them in the stem, the petioles, and the leaf veins. Then the last type of simple permanent tissue among the three, okay, would be sclerenchyma. So kung ang ating parenchyma is thin-walled, thick-walled naman pero hindi pantay-pantay ang pagka-thick-walled ng collenchyma, na ang ating sclerenchyma naman ay sobrang thick and sobrang tough. And usually, these are dead at maturity. So, pag nag-mature na yung tissues, wala na actually siya masyadong content, then this is already considered as a dying cell or a cell that has died. So, meron tayong functions niya for mechanical support and strength. Now, the first type of sclerenchyma would be the sclerides or the stone cells. Ito yung nakakain ninyo na parang buhangin sa chiko at pagkakain kayo ng pears. Oh, yun siya. Okay? Which is why they are called as stone cells. The fibers, on the other hand, are also a type of sclerenchyma, pero these are usually associated with different types of tissues. And they are usually longer. And syempre, as of that, they would have a thin cavity at the center. Meron silang butas dito sa gitna. Ganon din ito. Merong butas dun sa gitna. Okay, now let's look at the epidermis. So the epidermis, as your skin would also have an epidermis, would be the outermost covering of the plants, okay? And this is usually one cell thick. Kaya nga ito, yung nakikita natin na blue, then this would be the epidermis, the upper epidermis, and this would be the lower epidermis, okay? Pansinin, ang mga epidermis ng mga plants usually ay medyo madulas-dulas. Okay? Kasi meron siyang protective layer. And this is what we call as the cuticle. Saan nakuha yung pangalan ni cuticle? Galing ito dun sa kanyang substance na cutin. Okay? Now, modifications of the epidermis would be the trichomes and the stomata. Okay? Pansinin, ito yung hilera ng mga epidermis cells ng isang plant. Ito din yung isang hilera ng mga epidermal cells ng plant. Okay? Pero dun sa taas, meron tayong tinatawag na trichome, and dun sa baba, meron tayong tinatawag na stomates or stomata. Very up close, this is how your trichomes would look like. Para silang mga stalks, tapos um, hindi sila masyadong patulis, and then meron silang parang ulo sa taas. But for some types of trichomes, talagang ito ay patulis. Okay? Now, on the other hand, ito namang mga stomates natin, this is how they look like when they are open, and that is how they look like when they are closed. Now, the stomates would usually be found underneath. So, kung ito ang sideways mo titignan, ang leaf, okay, then nandito ang mga trichomes, nandito sa baba ang mga stomates. What would be the function of the trichomes? These are hairs that would protect the leaf from UV damage, okay? Pero pagka yung meron silang mga parang ulo na ganito, we usually call this as trichome head. Pag pinutok mo ito, meron po siyang lalabas na substance. Okay? And eto kadalasan yung naaamoy natin na mabango, kunwari pag dudurugin mo yung leaves, may naaamoy ka mabango, yun actually yung content nitong trichome na to. Now, for stomata, syempre, their particular function is for gas exchange. And syempre, pag sa madaling araw, ito din ang nilalabasan ng water. Now, we also have the cork. So, what is the cork? Then this would be the outermost covering of old stems. Okay? So, ano nga ba ang itsura ng cork? Ito siya, yung brown na portion na ito. Okay? That would be surrounding the stem or the trunk of the plant. Yan ang ating cork. So what is the cork made up of? It is a simple permanent tissue because basically the cells are already dead when they are mature. They usually assume their functions when they are already dead because yung kanilang cell wall nila ay merong suberin. Okay? At dahil meron siyang suberin, hindi siya madaling daanan ng iba-ibang mga klase ng substances pati ng water. Okay? So it makes this particular part of the plant impermeable or hindi nadadaanan or napapasukan ng tubig at ibang substances. Now, we also have the secretory tissues. To secrete is to actually produce a product and then eventually gagamitin ito ng plant. But sometimes the plant would also secrete other types like waste products. Okay? So, iba-iba po ang sinisikrit ng plant. So, we have here examples as the nectar. Okay? So, the nectar is yung nilalabas na sweet substance ng plant. Ito, you would see it here in the picture. Ito yung mga dark na structures na maliliit. These are the nectaries. Yan yung mga structures na nagpo-produce ng nectar. Okay? Sometimes you also have the oil, okay? In citrus, yung mga, di ba yung kunwari bubukas ka ng orange, meron kang maaamoy na parang oil, okay? Yun. Okay? Ang nagpo-produce nun ay secretory tissues. Ganon din sa mint plant, okay? Maaamoy mo ang menthol, sorry. Maamoy mo ang menthol, then that would be produced by the secretory tissues. Now, what are mucilage? Ito yung madulas. Ito, kung nakikita ninyo ito, okay? Yung madulas na tumutulo galing sa loob ng ibang parts ng plant, then yan yon, okay? Meron din yung tinatawag natin na gum, okay? Kasi talagang para siyang rubber. Now, we also have what we call as latex. Ito yung parang milk na napoproduce ng ibang secretory structures. And we have the resin, okay? Ito yung resin. And some of our fossils were actually covered in resin na i-preserve sila gamit ang resin. Now, we go to the complex permanent tissue. Sabi natin, there are two types, okay? Now, they would be very definite in their particular positions in the plant body. Bakit? Kasi they would have very definite functions at that. So we have the xylem and the phloem. And as you would see it, then yung xylem would usually be moving up. Okay? Xylem would usually be moving up. You would see the arrows here because it would be carrying water and minerals coming from the roots. Ibig sabihin, kagagaling lang nito sa soil, pataas dun sa plant. Dadalhin niya ngayon dun sa leaves. Tapos dun sa leaves, gagawa ngayon yung plant ng sarili niyang food. Pag nakagawa na ito ng food at ng water, then eto na yung padadaanin naman niya pababa. Okay? Pero pansinin, meron pa rin yung pataas kasi nga, meron yung mga leaves na nasa taas, meron yung mga leaves na nasa baba, right? Or meron yung mga flowers na nasa baba, meron yung mga flowers na nasa taas, mga fruits na nasa baba, mga fruits na nasa taas. Okay? Siyempre, hanggang roots, kailangang mapuntahan ng water at ng food, right? So, this is the main function of the phloem. Siya naman ngayon ang daanan ng mostly food. Okay. Now, we have the first type of permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue, and this would be the xylem. So, tulad ng sinabi natin, this would be transporting minerals and water. Okay? Now, there are different types of cells in the xylem. The first one would be the xylem fibers. Okay? So, ang xylem fibers ay halos katulad ng mga sclerenchyma fibers. Ito ang itsura niya, pahaba. Now, xylem parenchyma naman would of course be looking like parenchyma cells, but they are usually smaller in size than the ordinary parenchyma. Ito ang itsura niyan. 'Di ba? You remember yung side view or longitudinal view ng ating parenchyma? Then ito ang itsura niya. Vessels, on the other hand, are usually long tubes of cells. Tapos they are joined from end to end. Okay? So, eto ang ating vessel and ganito ang itsura niya. Meron ulit nakadugtong na isa pa dito sa kabila. Okay? Now, ang mga vessels natin are shorter and they are much wider than the tracheids. Ito actually mga vessels natin ang pinakamakakapal when it comes to these different types. Kasi pati itong si xylem parenchyma, hindi po siya talaga, sa picture lang ito na medyo makapal siya, pero sa totoo lang, these are actually smaller. Kaya in this particular picture, this is a picture of the xylem of a plant. Makikita ninyo, etong mga malalaking, mga puting, mga butas-butas dyan, yan, okay? Yan ang ating mga vessels. Okay? And then makikita natin na yung mga parenchyma natin is mas maliliit. Okay? Then how do you see the tracheids? Ito yung mga tracheids natin, medyo makakapal ang mga itsura nila, pero makapal yung kanilang cell wall, pero mas maninipis sila. Ito yung mga tracheids. Okay, just to describe the different tracheids, then they are elongated cells, tapos oblique at saka tapering o patulis yung kanilang mga dulo. Okay? So, at cross-section, meron silang angles. At ito ay isa sa mga tissues that are actually dead at maturity. So, ang mga tracheids natin or tracheary elements natin ay made up of tracheids and vessels. It's a combination of tracheids and vessels. So, ito yung kanilang mga itsura. When we say annular, mukha siyang rings. Okay? Ito yung isang ring, ito yung isang ring, ito yung isang ring, yan yung isang ring. Okay? Pag annular, mukha siyang rings. Pag spiral, it would look like helices or spiral. Kaya nga makikita ninyo na pag ganyan siya. Okay? So this would be our spiral tracheary vessels. Tracheary elements, sorry. Now, ang scalariform natin is ladder-like. Ayan o, mukha siyang hagdan, right? And then we have the pitted type. Ito o, mayroon siyang mga pits o mayroon siyang mga butas-butas. Ito yung mga nakikita natin na to, that would be the pits. And when we say reticulate, meron siyang parang web o meron siyang parang net. Kaya makikita nyo yung structures ng mga ito, parang net. Now we go to the phloem. So tulad na sinabi natin, ang primary na dumadaan sa phloem ay yung food ng leaves. Okay? Ay food ng plant galing sa leaves. Sorry. So, we first look at the companion cells. Ano ang itsura ng mga companion cells? Dito, sa diagram na ito, these are the companion cells. Okay? Now, they are called as companion cells because they are the companions of the sieve tube elements. Okay? Ito yung mga sieve tube elements. Ito sila. Okay? And this one. Okay? These are the sieve tube elements. And you would see that wala po silang mga nucleus. So, paano sila magpo-perform ng ibang mga functions nila kung wala silang nucleus? Ang nagga-guide sa kanila would be the companion cells. Okay? So, these are actually parenchymatous cells, pero they would have a small nucleus. Tapos, ang mga parenchymatous cells na to, nakadikit sila sa mga sieve tube elements. So, ang sieve tube elements naman, usually end-to-end, magkadikit yan. Tapos, makikita ninyo yung dulo ng sieve tube elements, marami siyang mga butas-butas. Diba? You would see mga butas na yan. Okay? Yan ang ating mga sieve plates. Okay? These are the sieve plates or the small pores. So, eto din, kung titignan natin yung diagram na to, eto naman din ang ating sieve plate. Okay? So, etong structure na ito, ang ating sieve tube element. Etong structure na ito. This one. Okay? Eto. Now, also, we have the phloem fibers. Again, mukha siyang sclerenchyma fibers. Parang yung xylem fibers din, mukha rin siyang sclerenchyma fibers. But how will you be able to tell if this would be xylem fibers or phloem fibers? Titignan mo kung ano yung mas malapit na katabi nila. Ang katabi ba nila ay mga sieve tube elements? Then this would be phloem fibers. Kung ang katabi niyan would be tracheary vessels or tracheary elements, then ang mga yan would be xylem fibers. Now, ang phloem parenchyma is also similar to the ordinary parenchyma cells. Then again, how do you identify if this would be phloem parenchyma or xylem parenchyma? Because they would still be looking like parenchyma cells, pero again, titignan mo kung ano yung katabi nila. Kung ang katabi niyan ulit ay sieve tube elements, then this would be phloem parenchyma. Kung ang katabi niyan would be tracheary elements, then ang klase ng parenchyma niyan is xylem parenchyma. Okay? So this ends the lecture on the types of tissues of the cell, the plant. So eventually, we would be trying to look at these ones during the finals kasi kahit papano, we would have a chance to make use of the microscope already inside the laboratory. Okay, I will not be requiring you to make notes on this, but please study this because I will be giving you a quiz once I get back next week. Goodbye, guys.